Welcome back to JandJPickEm. My name is Josh. Last week I went 11-5 and my overall record is 144-79. I told you guys we're going to get double-digit wins this week, and you already know the slogan. When we get double-digit wins, you get double-digit wins. And when you get double-digit wins, you win your pick'em. Also, I'm in 3 fantasy leagues. I made the semifinals in all 3 of my fantasy leagues, and I'm so happy. I'm only 1 game away from the fantasy championship. And if you guys need any fantasy advice, just let us know. We're going to help you guys out, and I'm excited for this week of football.
My name is Juan. Last week I went 9-7, and my overall record is 139-84. Like Josh said, if you guys have any fantasy football questions, start them or sit them, let us know in the comments down below. And one more thing, make sure to follow us on Instagram, JandJPickEm. That's where we post on our story any last-minute changes due to any injuries or any other things like that. So make sure to follow us on there.
Hey, let's get into our Week 16 picks.
Let's go.
To start off this week of football, Thursday Night Football, we got the Rams versus the Seahawks. Honestly, I think this is game of the week in my opinion. They're playing for first place in their division.
Probably the best Thursday Night Football we're going to get.
I know, we've been having some trash Thursday Night Football games, and we're finally going to have a good one, a high-scoring one. Last week, the Seahawks played amazing defense, especially against a bad quarterback like Phillip Rivers. But the one thing is, they couldn't score a lot. But eventually, they got Jason involved, and they were able to score. But the one thing about them, their run game is horrible. Walker ain't that great of a running back, and then Zach Charbonnet's whatever. But the opposite is for the Rams. Blake Corum's turning up when it matters. He had a touchdown, and him and Kyren Williams are becoming a really good run threat. But their defense struggled. And you know what's surprising? Even though their defense struggled, they still managed to keep putting up points against the Lions. And to win games like that, you got to put up a bunch of points. And for that reason, give me the Rams winning this matchup. Matthew Stafford, I feel like he's a really good quarterback. He's in contention to win MVP. It's him and Drake May. And honestly, Matthew Stafford's probably going to win MVP. The way he's carrying the Rams, and offensively, they're going to score a lot more points than the Seahawks, and I got them winning.
Yeah, the Rams. I mean, Matthew Stafford just had a huge game last week, and this is a very important game. The winner of this game takes the NFC West, right?
Yes.
They take control of the NFC West, and another thing is they take first place in the NFC. Sheesh. That means you get the bye week. And with the Rams right now, they might be without Devontae Adams due to his hamstring injury. So if he doesn't play, even though he doesn't get a lot of yards, he does get touchdowns, and that's one thing that's good about him in the end zone. Bro, he's always open.
Yep.
For this game, it's going to be a very good game. The Seahawks are playing at a high level, and so are the Rams. Wait, who'd you go with?
I went with the Rams.
With the Rams? All right, for this one, I'm going to have to go with the Rams too. Sheesh. I want to go with the Seahawks, but I think the Rams are really playing really good.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, even if he's coming from behind, I'll still trust him to, put up some points and get the win at the end of the game. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Best Thursday Night Football game we're going to get.
Easily.
So for sure, you got to watch this one. Literally, NFL, a playoff level game right here.
It is.
For this one, we're both going to go with the Rams.
This week, we got Saturday games. And for our first Saturday game, we got the Eagles versus the Commanders. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts got mad that he threw 5 turnovers previous weeks. So last week, he took all his anger out against the Raiders. And he scored a bunch of touchdowns, 2 to Goddard. I think 1 to A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are back. They played amazing. Their defense looked good. And there's not much to say. They played a really good game. As for the Commanders, I told you guys, when a team gets shut out, put 0 points against the Vikings, they came back, and you know what? They won last week.
Hey, that's a big reason, because of Josh's stat, he always says that
when
a team gets blown out, they end up winning the next game, and that's a big reason why I cashed out with the Commanders
Yes,
last week.
sir. And you know what? Mariota didn't play too bad. He got McLaurin a nice touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
And Ja'Cory Cross-Get-Merritt. No Chris Rodriguez, and he balled out as the number 1. And I expect the same thing this week, but honestly, even if you run the ball good, you're going to have to throw the ball because you're playing behind against the Eagles. The Eagles have such a great offense, and for that reason, give me Philadelphia winning this game.
Yeah, the Commanders, they finally got, their first win last week after 8 straight losses. And honestly, look, they have the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Eagles, so most likely they're not going to win another game. They're going to tank. For this game, there's no way they beat the Eagles. So, the Eagles are leading they're leading their division right now, and they're playing really good football. And then with McLaurin in them, it was a good game. I'll give it to them. But I think, at the end of the day, it's against the Eagles, and it's a division matchup. The Eagles have dominated the Commanders for a while.
Yep.
I think the Eagles get the win.
Yes, sir.
For Saturday Night Football, we got the Packers versus the Bears. For this one, it's going to be another great matchup. We just seen this matchup 2 weeks ago where the Packers came out on top by 1 touchdown. Caleb Williams sold the game. Last-minute interception.
Yep.
for this one, bro, the Bears just came off a huge win. The Packers, they didn't look so great against the Broncos, and Micah Parsons got hurt. Christian Watson's got hurt. It's not looking good for the Packers right now. Their top defensive player, their top receiver, both down. That means Matthew Golden and Jaden Reed need to step up for Jordan Love. Jordan Love needs to take care of that football, because I know, look, as a Packers fan, I know Jordan Love's throwing at least one interception this game. And, What you say? What were you saying?
All right. Juan might get mad, but it's true.
It's true.
When it comes to the fourth quarter and being clutch sometimes Jordan Love isn't clutch, but he's an amazing quarterback. He could get it done, but sometimes, it's the Broncos. It's a great defense, So.
Yeah, the Packers, they haven't been, I'm not going to talk about that. But for this game, also Odunze, last week he was supposed to play. He ended up re-aggravating his injury, and he didn't play. So this week, we're not sure if he's going to play.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Packers fan, it would be nice to, see him sit it out, rest his foot a little for another week. I want him to get healthy,
Yeah.
But for this game, come on. I got to go with my Green Bay Packers. It's a hard pick. I know. Look, this is the game where I would say I would consider going with the Bears.
Ooh.
But for this one, as a loyal Packers fan, I gotta go with my team. I'm gonna go with the Green Bay Packers. I feel like they'll find a way to, get the win. Jordan Love's gonna find out. I don't know. I'm nervous about this game. I think Jordan Love gets the win, though.
This is the first time I've ever heard Juan say that the Bears might win against the Packers. You're always so confident with the Packers, and I think you know why. Shador Sanders last week threw 3 interceptions against this Bear defense. This Bear defense is legit, especially that secondary. And Ben Johnson's doing an amazing job carrying this Bears team. And offensively, Caleb Williams, he's playing a lot better. Last week, 31 points, dude. He threw a couple nice touchdowns. DeAndre Swift is playing amazing. Mononga, the second running back, is playing amazing too. As for the Packers, I feel like a lot of injuries are going to stop them, but it's all up to Jordan Love. If you want to win this game, I think it's going to be a shootout, just like the last time they played.
Oh, yeah.
And Jordan Love has to score touchdowns, but most importantly, like you said, protect the ball.
Take care
Don't
of the
throw
football.
turnovers, especially when you got Christian Watson most likely out for the game. You got to find your receivers. And honestly, this game is Josh Jacobs. You got to rely on your best player. And honestly, Juan's going to hate this, but give me the Bears winning this matchup. The Packers own the Bears, but it's a different year. Ben Johnson is leading this team, and honestly, it's going to be a pretty hard matchup, and they're playing at home. You guys won in Lambeau, but the Bears are going to win in their stadium.
Hey, I want to know your guys' pick for this game.
Yep.
Let me know. Am I delusional Packers fan, or is Josh, about to cash out with the Bears? Let us know in the comments for this one.
Let's go. To start off Sunday, we got the Chargers versus the Cowboys. Honestly, this is going to be an amazing matchup. I'm expecting a high-scoring matchup. For the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, he just struggled against J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings last week. It was pretty embarrassing.
And he struggled against 9.
I know. Jack Doherty. And you know what? CeeDee Lamb still had an amazing game, but what happened to George Pickens? I don't know where he's at. There's a missing poster. And what's up with Ladd McConkey? Both of these receivers, they're missing right now. We don't know where any of them are at. But I expect Dak Prescott to throw the ball a lot. Javonte Williams is going to continue the run game. Their defense is going to be inconsistent. One week they do good, another week they do bad, but they never do amazing. And as for the Chargers, you know what? Justin Herbert is finding ways to get it done with only one hand, and it's so impressive. And you know what? Omarion Hampton had 60 yards again. I expect them to have a way better game this game. And in my opinion, you know what? I want to go with the Chargers because their defense against Mahomes and the Chiefs last week. But I don't know.
They could have beat a fraud Chiefs.
They could. But here's one thing that I always tell Juan. When the Cowboys are out the playoffs, they always find a way to win games when it doesn't matter. And for that reason, give me Dak Prescott and the Cowboys winning this matchup. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are going to have the game of their lives. And you know what? This offense is going to look amazing. I just don't know if their defense is going to play good. But guess what? Justin Herbert has one hand. It's going to be pretty hard for him to win this game. But it is going to be close. I do expect Justin Herbert to put up a good game. But Dak Prescott's going to come out on top.
Yeah, for this one, the Chargers, they're trying to, remain in the playoffs.
Yep.
The Cowboys, they're out. They got nothing to lose. For this game, I think the Cowboys take advantage of that. When you got nothing to lose, you can take more chances.
Yep.
You're willing to take
on
more.
Fourth down, you're always going for it.
30, you're going for it. Yeah. But for this one, I truly think the Cowboys are going to bounce back. I've been going with the Cowboys a couple times, and every single time they let me down. And there's one person in the comments that every time I pick the Cowboys, they're like, let's go, Josh. Yeah. You messed up. And what happens? The Cowboys end up losing. Yep. Hopefully that does not happen this week because we are both going with the Cowboys.
Yep.
But yeah, this week we're both going to rock with the Cowboys.
Let's go. For our next matchup, we got the Vikings versus the Giants. If you're saying bullying doesn't work, you obviously haven't talked to JJ McCarthy. Bullying works. These past 2 games, he's been playing amazing, and he's on a 2-game win streak now because people have bullied him. You know what? Maybe Jackson Dart needs the same amount of bullying because he hasn't been playing that amazing, especially last week against the Commanders. Looked horrible, and you know what? They just got smoked. They couldn't do anything offensively, and to win this game, Jackson Dart... Honestly, I feel bad because after Malik Neighbors got injured and was out for the season, they have no one. Wando Robinson's probably their best guy. Tyrone Tracy had a decent game. I think he scored a touchdown, but they're not looking good at all. And for the Vikings, you know what? This is probably the best they've looked in a very long time.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Guess who's still not getting the ball, Juan?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson is still not getting the ball.
And that's probably why I haven't seen no one hit the gritty all season.
I know, dude. I think
9 did on the way to the end zone against the Cowboys.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking JJ McCarthy is like, he has a spell on Justin Jefferson or something, and he's like, Justin Jefferson can't hit the gritty, only I can.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. Something's happening because I know people who have JJ on fantasy, they're mad right now because Justin Jefferson isn't doing anything. But to win this game, keep doing what you're doing. He's feeding his receivers, even if it's not Justin Jefferson. And I feel like they could play good enough to win games. And for that reason, I got them winning this game against Jackson Dart and the Giants. But honestly, don't be surprised if the Giants win this game. I don't know why. This feels like a game they could win. And I might be switching my pick. But as of right now, I got the Vikings.
Yeah, for this one, look, straight up, I'm going to go with the Vikings. The Giants, they've lost 8 games straight. Do you know who has the first round pick right now?
Bruh. Oh, the Giants. The Giants. What the heck? Yeah.
And they're gonna hold on to that for another week. Look, there's nothing that the Giants should do this week that says win this game.
I know
the Vikings. JJ McCarthy, he's getting hot not at the right moment because they're obviously out of playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's a perfect time to see his potential. Try out a little more stuff with them. And for this one, I think 9 gets the win. Justin Jefferson, maybe give him the ball. Be a little more considerate. McCarthy, know that people have this guy on their fantasy football team. They have money on the line. Maybe that's what he needs. That connection with Justin Jefferson for him to be on that higher level. But for this game, we're both gonna go with the Vikings.
For our next matchup, we got the Bengals versus the Dolphins. 2 teams who offensively have been struggling the past weeks. The Dolphins, they played pretty bad against the Steelers. Darren Waller, though, he did come back, scored 2 touchdowns, looked pretty good. Achane did good in the receiving and rushing game, but they couldn't stop the Steelers at all, and they couldn't score enough touchdowns to win the game. I know they asked Mike McDaniels, the head coach, they asked him, what is he thinking about the QB situation right now? And he said that he doesn't know. It's uncertain. Yeah. So there could be a possibility that Tua isn't the starter for us this season, but I think he will, but he's been struggling a lot. As for the Bengals, Joe Burrow struggled last week too. He got shut out by the Ravens, and Juan knows his crazy stat, and it's true. When a team gets shut out, 0 points, the next week they always come out and they win. It happened when the Vikings shut out the Commanders. They came back and they won. The Vikings even got shut out by, I forget who they got shut out by, but they put up 0 points also, and they won the following week. It happens. The Bengals got shut out by the Ravens. Give me the Bengals winning this matchup. They're going to play with something in their heads, bro. They're going to want to score. Jamar Chase still put up over 100 yards, and I still like Chase Brown. So this team can still score touchdowns, and they're playing a struggling Dolphins offense. So give me the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals, they had bad luck last week. They played against a Ravens team that needed to win, you know. The Ravens are in a position where they literally needed to win, you know. That's why they shut them out. The Bengals, it was also a division game, which is another reason, you know. It was a difficult game for them overall. But 2 weeks ago, they did have a pretty good game against the Bills.
They did.
Where I was like, that's why I went with them last week against the Ravens. I saw Joe Burrow went off 4 touchdowns. He had an amazing game. And honestly, I think we're going to have another matchup like that. I think last week, it was overall, every quarterback is due for a bad game. No matter who it is, they had a bad game. And I think that was Joe Burrow's last week, but he should be able to bounce back. I do not trust Tua. I've seen some of those passes on on Monday night.
Yep.
Bro, this guy is not it. If you watch football, this guy should not be the quarterback for this team.
Yeah.
For this one, give up both the Bengals. Another reason is because this team got shut out. And Josh, his stat, you heard his stat.
They're going to come back and win.
Yep. We're both going to go with the Bengals.
For our next matchup, we got the Bucs versus the Panthers. This is a very important game. Whoever wins this game gets the number 1 seed or they win their division, basically. Yeah. Not officially, but for the time being.
Basically take control of it for now.
Because they play each other again on week 18, and that game's going to be amazing. That's what I'm looking forward to. But this game is very important. Mike Evans came back from his injury, 132 yards, played an amazing game. And you know what? The Bucs, even though they lost, I feel like offensively they're still a great team. And I like how they look. Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, they still got great weapons. As for the Panthers, I don't know what it was. Division matchup against the Saints, I guess.
They both lost division matchups last week.
Super important games to win, and they both lost. And you know what? They couldn't stop Chris Olave last week, so I think they're going to struggle stopping Mike Evans this week. And Bryce Young, only 1 touchdown, didn't look too great. So this game's an iffy one.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I think for this one, I'm going to take Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. You know what? I feel like he's been slinging the ball, and I feel like he knows how to win games. And I feel like there's a must-win game for them. And the Panthers, I feel like defensively, sometimes they could struggle. Yeah. And for that reason, I got the Bucs winning this matchup.
Yeah, for this game, it's a very good matchup. Playoff-level game. You basically win. You take control. You take control of your destiny into the playoffs. For this one, I think it's still, Bryce Young, he showed us where he can play and, win big games. But I think it's still too early in his career, Yeah. I think he, this season, he misses playoffs due to this loss right here. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield is him. I've been saying it all season. This guy's been balling out. And this is the moment where Baker Mayfield shows why the Buccaneers traded for him. Yeah. Bryce Young, I'm sorry, your hopes, you had a good season, but you got to play good all season, not just a couple games if you want to make the playoffs. I think Baker Mayfield is going to bounce back and get the win. Mike Evans, coming back is definitely a huge help. Yeah. And for this one, look, it's a difficult matchup. I know the Panthers are a really good team, and Bryce Young has been balling out. But I'm going to have to go with the Buccaneers. I have a quick question. What's your score prediction for this game?
I think this would be very close. I got 24-21 Bucs.
24-21.
I think this would be super close. For our next matchup, we got the Jets versus the Saints. We got a snooze fest. We got Brady Cook against Tyler Shook. Brady Cook last week, 3 interceptions. Didn't play great. Honestly, at this point, whether it's Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, Brady Cook, bring back Kaepernick. I don't care who it is. Your team sucks. And being a Jets fan, I'm sorry. I know it's horrible, but you guys aren't going to win this game. Give me the Saints, Tyler Shook. You know what I will say about this? I talk so much smack about Tyler Shook, but here's one thing about him. With his legs, he knows how to extend plays. And he actually led the team in rushing yards, which is surprising. And you know what? Louisiana loves this guy right now. He's been playing pretty good. He could get any girl he wants in Louisiana. And this guy's been balling out. And Chris Olave scored a really nice touchdown. And he beat the Panthers, who are a pretty decent team,
Hey, and he also beat the Buccaneers the week before that.
That's true. He's beating teams in his division. And these are games that matter. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I know they like beating
And another thing is he beat 2 teams that are literally fighting for that number 1 spot in their division.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's probably going to have to play one of them again. And you know what? The other team, whether it's the Panthers or the Bucs, they're going to be rooting for the Saints to win. And you know what? The way Tyler Shook is playing, I got the Saints winning.
Yeah, Tyler Shook, this guy's been, as of now, he's got the most wins from the rookies. Yeah. I'll tell you about that
crazy stat.
He has 3 wins. Jackson Dart's the closest with 2 wins, surprisingly.
Yeah.
For this game, I'm going to have to go with the Saints. Tyler Show, he's proved to us that he can win games. He won 2 back-to-back division matchups against teams, or the 2 teams, that are fighting for that number 1 spot in the division. And I feel like the Jets, this team is just straight up trash. Didn't they get blown out last week?
I think so. They're just not a good team.
The Jets, Who do they play?
I'm forgetting.
All
I don't know why.
Is the Jets are gonna lose. They're gonna keep losing. This a sorry franchise. I don't know why they're still in the NFL. Put Ohio State. Put San Jose State. Put whatever team. Put my high school team in the NFL, and they'll perform way better than the Jets.
Crazy.
For this one, we both got the Saints. Tyler Schultz gonna ball out, and it's. Oh, another thing. The Saints said that's their man, their quarterback for the future.
Yeah.
And honestly, not too bad. I would he's not the best, but I can see what potential they see in him.
I'm remembering now. The Jets play the Jags. Trevor Lawrence scored 6 touchdowns against them. So if that doesn't tell you much,
and Brian Thomas did good all of a sudden.
Crazy. So we both got the Saints winning this matchup. For our next matchup, we got the Bills versus the Browns. There should be an exciting matchup for the Bills, not the Browns. Brown fans are down bad right now. I know everyone just wants Shedeur Sanders to have a great game and to just go out there and ball and show what you could do and see how you can improve for next season. But last game, 3 interceptions, played really bad. Even the head coach gave him the wrong wristband with the wrong play calls. They're just planning for this guy's failure.
They don't want to see him win.
I know. They don't want to see him win. But you know what? Perfect timing. I got Shedeur having a better game, actually. I think he's going to throw at least 1 touchdown. But when you're playing Josh Allen and the Bills in December, when it matters, the Bills always win in December and January when it matters, except when they play the Chiefs. But luckily, the Chiefs are in the playoffs right now.
Maybe they might go to the Super Bowl.
You never know. Never count Mahomes out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not Chris Collinsworth. But you know what? Josh Allen threw 2 touchdowns. Dawson Knox, James Cook had an amazing game. I don't got much to say. Give me the Bills. They're going to smoke the Browns this game. It's going to be an easy matchup.
Yeah, for the Browns, there's nothing much to say. Shedeur Sanders, 6 interceptions this season, 5 touchdowns. That's not a good stat line just to start off. The Bills, Josh Allen, he's been balling out. Last week I said it. I trust him to beat the Patriots.
Yep.
Even if he was down, I knew he would come back and win the game.
100%.
Look, he was down 21-0. And tell me you weren't confident the Bills were going to win still.
Bruh, I was still confident.
Yeah, I knew. I'm like, it's the Bills. Once they got that first touchdown.
That's why we chose them.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah. I'm like, it's Josh Allen. It's just his playing style. He plays really good under pressure, which is a good thing to have against the Browns because they always have pressure on the quarterback.
Yep.
Myles Garrett, he's trying to become that leader in sacks. Or did he
seen that.
Is he leading
in
sacks?
He's only 2 sacks away, I think.
2 sacks
from
away
Michael
from bringing the record.
Yep.
He might break it. Actually, I don't know. Josh Allen is too hard to get to. I think Josh Allen's going to have a great game. The Browns overall, Shedeur Sanders, I was telling you, I seen a nice pass from him. But then, I was like, maybe he might be a great quarterback. But then I remembered, this guy's been playing football his whole life. He's due for one good throw. And then I see a couple other throws. I'm like, yeah, this guy's... He's not ready for the not that he's not ready for the NFL, but they just threw him in.
Yeah.
No receivers, no nothing in a trash franchise. Give me the Bills for this game.
Yes, sir. For our next matchup, we got the Chiefs versus the Titans. The Titans, you know what? They haven't been playing good, but Cam Ward, I feel like he's slightly able to score touchdowns sometimes. And Tony Pollard, I feel like he's the bright spot on their team. 2 weeks in a row where he scores a touchdown and he's playing pretty well. But the Titans still haven't been able to win games, though. As for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes out for the season, ACL tear. And you know what? This was actually the worst time he could have an ACL tear because he's going to miss most of the season next year.
Yeah.
And he can't play until the end of the season. And by then, it's going to be too late. They're probably not going to make playoffs next year, just like this year. And honestly, I think it's the locker room. I think a lot of players, they're not even in sync right now. Chris Jones, they asked him, did you know this was an elimination game? He said no.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
He didn't even know. So I feel like you need better coaching. Your players have to be aware of the situation. Gardner Minshew went in last week, threw an interception. They're not looking good.
Hey, thank you, Gardner Minshew. We appreciate that.
But honestly, you still got Kelsey. You still got Rashee Rice. You still got Xavier Worthy. You still got all these guys. And for that reason, I think the Chiefs are going to win this matchup. I got Gardner Minshew playing pretty well. He's finally going to learn the playbook. He's going to prepare and he's going to plan for this game. But honestly, I would not be surprised if Cam Ward wins this game. But as of right now, I got the Chiefs.
For this one, I had to do it. I'm going to go with the Titans.
Sure.
Just because, do you know how many times the Chiefs had let me down? Even last week.
I know.
I was like, they won't let me down. And what happens? The NFL knows they got better teams, The NFL knew. Look, this is exactly what the NFL said. If we allow the Chiefs to make it to another Super Bowl with such a horrible record, the viewership, everything's going away. So the only way for them to make sure they don't win another Super Bowl, So making sure they don't get there. Look, it's a little rigged. I'm not saying Mahomes' injury was rigged or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the whole bad season for the Chiefs is, a little questionable.
Of course.
But for this one, I got to go with the Titans. They've been covering the spread like 14 or 15 games, I think. They've covered the spread. And it's only like a 4.5 points or
3.5 right now.
That's a very close number. Gardner Minshew, he didn't look nice. And the Chiefs, the whole season, they've looked horrible. The Titans, they haven't looked the best. But I think this is a point where they're playing at home. Cam Ward needs a little bit of confidence. And he's going to get this win. It's a crazy pick.
Yeah.
But it's possible. I'm going to go with the Titans. And Josh is going to go with the Chiefs.
Yes, sir. For our next matchup, we got the Jags versus the Broncos. This is a playoff level game. Both these teams are most likely going to make the playoffs. And the Broncos defense is looking amazing right now. Last week, they had a couple interceptions. And, against Jordan Love, I hate to say it, but Patrick Surtain, probably best cornerback in the league right now.
Crazy. Look, as much as a big Packers fan I am, this guy had a crazy interception. He stole that shit. He stole it from Christian Watson.
Give me that. You don't know what to do with that. Hey, you know what? That defense is looking legit, and that's why they're winning these games. But guess what? Bo Nix last week, 4 touchdowns. Looked amazing. All his receivers were catching the balls. And you know what? Trevor Lawrence, 6 total touchdowns last week, too.
I think that was his best career game. I think he had 5
Easily.
How many? 5 touchdowns?
I think he threw for 5.
Yeah, that was his.
For 1.
That was his highest or
career high for touchdowns.
Career
in the
high,
game.
for touchdowns.
And he played amazing. Travis Etienne had a great game too. Brian Thomas Jr., you called it, finally had a good game back.
He was due for a good game.
And this is a tricky one. 2 offenses who are playing really good, and their record is this great because their defenses have been good too.
I think Broncos are in first place right now, and Jaguars might be like in third place or something.
And you know what? This is such a hard game to choose. But you know what? Just because they're playing at home and I feel like their defense is better, give me the Broncos winning this matchup. But honestly, it could go either way.
Yeah, for this game, I really want to go with Trevor Lawrence just because he has more experience. He's been playing really good. But Bo Nix, as much as, I want to talk smack, I got to give him some respect. He had a really good game. Their defense, really good. And I think the Jaguars are going to be put up to a test. Trevor Lawrence is going to make mistakes. And that's a big reason why the Broncos are going to get the win. For this one, me and Josh are both going to go with the Broncos.
Yes, sir.
Look, it's a great game. I can see the Jaguars winning this game. But it would take Trevor Lawrence to, not turn over the ball. Yeah. And that's something he has, sometimes he has problems with that. We've seen earlier in the season, at times, the defense will get him the ball. Yeah. And he won't convert. He doesn't get a field goal. He doesn't get a touchdown. He gets nothing out of it. Against the Broncos, you need to put up points. Because no matter what, that defense and that offense, they're really good. And, they're really good team. And if you're not careful, they can slowly put up a bunch of points. You turn the ball over, Bo Nix is going to score. And, you start off bad, it's not going to go good. For this one, we both got the Broncos.
For our next matchup, we got the Falcons versus the Cardinals. I feel like this should be an interesting matchup. The Cardinals, I was actually checking right now. They're on a big game losing streak right now.
Yeah, 5 games or something,
It's crazy. They haven't won in a long time. But you know what? McBride had an amazing game. Zonovan Knight, Bam Knight, he's actually out for the season. He's on IR. So it's going to be Michael Carter. So that's even more injuries to them. As for the Falcons, Kyle Pitts, generational day for him, career day, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards, had a bunch of catches.
Crazy game.
Bijan had a good touchdown. Kirk Cousins played amazing out of nowhere.
I know. What was it, like 370 yards or something?
3 touchdowns, too. It was crazy. Dang. Drake London might be coming back this game. Honestly, he's probably not, but there's a chance he could come back. For this game, all signs are pointing to choose the Falcons, but you know what? I choose underdogs. Give me the Cardinals winning this game. I got to go with one crazy pick each week. And this is crazy. But honestly, they've lost so many games. I feel like they're due to win one. And you know what? Kirk Cousins, he's inconsistent. He's not going to drop 300 yards every game. And for that reason, I got the Cardinals winning.
Yeah, for this one, it's a very tricky game. It could be a trap game where, the Falcons literally, Kirk Cousins had his best game.
Yep.
And then, going the next week and not betting on him. For this one, I want to go with the Cardinals, but I'm falling for the trap. I'm going with the Falcons. I'm eating the cheese. I'm a cheesehead. The trap got me. I think I'm going to have to go with the Kirk Cousins. I'm not confident with this pick, because I know the Cardinals, they're still a good team. Jacoby Brissett can make anything happen with McBride. And honestly, they have that same connection. McBride with Brissett, with Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts. For this game, Kyle Pitts had a great game. For this one, I think I'm going to have to go with the Falcons. Bijan Robinson should have a great game as well. And the Cardinals, they just can't find the way to win. For this one, just give me the Falcons. I want to go with the Cardinals. I really do want to switch my pick, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Yes, sir. For our next matchup, we got the Raiders versus the Texans. This is going to be a horrible matchup. The Raiders got blown out by the Eagles. And you know what I always say? When you get shut out, you're always going to win the next week. That ain't the case for this game, man. The Raiders are going to lose. I got the Texans winning this matchup. Nico Collins, how about him? Have a day last week. Amazing game. CJ Stroud,
let him know how Nico Collins won your fantasy football.
He helped me win my fantasy matchup last week, and I thank you for that, Nico Collins. Keep balling out. CJ Stroud, you can't throw the ball, but you know how to throw Nico Collins. So keep doing what you're doing. And honestly, against the Raiders this week, minus 14.5. I will say this. Okay, so the Raiders got shut out, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're going to score at least 1 or 2 touchdowns this game.
For what team? Like pick 6?
Picks, everything. I told Juan this, and if the script goes like this, I'm going to make sure to mention this next week. I could feel the Raiders getting a lead this game at some point. I know you don't think that's possible. They're going to get the lead, and then by halftime, they're going to be up, I don't know, by 3 points or something, and then the Texans are just going to destroy them. That's what's going to happen. But don't be surprised if the Raiders keep this game close. I truly think it could happen. I don't know. Whether it's Kenny Pickett or Geno Smith, I don't care. But we still suck. Texans are going to win.
Yeah, honestly, I think Josh is right. Look, the Raiders are going to keep this game close for the first 30 seconds of the game. And from there, it's going to be a blowout. The Texans, they're doing so good right now with Schultz and Nico Collins. CJ Stroud is finally getting it together. I've been talking a little bit of smack about him. Yeah. And, he's been proving me wrong. He's been having great games. And that defense.
Crazy.
They're just too good. The Raiders,
way too good.
They have nothing going for good. Looking forward for them. Ashton JT, he's there, but it's a Lamborghini, parked in a trailer park. There's nothing good about that. Their quarterback situation. Horrible. Geno Smith is straight trash. They had to bench him. Kenny Pickett, bro, this guy.
Just those picks.
Josh knows how bad I talked about Kenny Pickett a couple of seasons ago. Every week, this guy was handing out. Not handing out. He was taking out. This guy, not the... Look, I don't even know why the Raiders have this... Oh, actually, I do know. It's because the Raiders like to lose. They're a losing organization. As much... Look, I hate talking smack about the Raiders. Josh is a Raiders fan, but when you run an organization like this, you got Tom Brady in there now. Come on, this guy... Put some championship mentality in there. For this one, it's a clear, Texans win.
Fernando Mendoza, come to the Raiders. We love you. It's going to happen. We're going to lose this game for you. So.
Hey, if that happens, that's one step closer. So, the Raiders might be tanking for him. Hopefully the Raiders lose. And, it'll help out Josh.
Yes,
it'll help out, getting closer to that first round pick.
Yep.
For this one, we both got the Texans.
For our next matchup, we got the Steelers versus the Lions. This should be a great matchup. 2 teams are going to go to the playoffs. And the Lions,
the Lions, they're trying to fight to get into the playoffs.
I think the Lions will make the playoffs. Honestly, I will say this. The game against the Rams, defensively, they looked horrible. They couldn't stop Puka. They couldn't stop the run game. They couldn't stop anything.
Yeah.
But they were still able to score. But Jahmyr Gibbs, what a horrible game he had. But Amon St. Brown had an amazing game. J-Mo had an amazing game too. But this is going to be way different. The Steelers, they're able to stop the Dolphins. You know what? The Dolphins, they're not the Lions. The Lions are such an amazing team offensively. It's just defensively, they got to be able to stop the Steelers. And you know what? I've seen people stop Aaron Rodgers before. These past 2 weeks, Aaron Rodgers has been looking amazing. But it's easy to stop him when you have the right defensive scheme. And I feel like the Lions are going to do that this week. And I feel like because of all the weapons they have offensively, they're going to win this game.
Yeah, for this one, Aaron Rodgers has a chance to help out the Packers, Yeah. The Lions... The only way that, they're kind of able to sneak into the playoffs is taking the Packers' spot. As much as I want the Steelers to win, it's not going to happen. Jared Goff is just too good. His receivers, Jameson Williams and St. Brown are... Bro, these guys are probably the best duo right now, wide receiver core, right?
Well, CD and Pickens are still there, but
CD and Pickens are not even close to making the playoffs. And they got Dak Prescott as quarterback.
Yeah.
So, look, no, I'm not gonna talk about that. But for this one, I honestly think this might be one of the best duos. Obviously, that might be better. But bro, these guys last game, they both put up over 100 yards.
Yeah, amazing.
When you got receivers that are both putting up over 100 yards, your offense is gonna be moving. The Steelers defense, honestly, as good as they are, I don't think they're gonna have enough to stop the Lions. Their offense. The Lions are hungry. They want that playoff spot.
Yeah.
The Steelers, they're trying to hold on to that division. So I already know they're gonna be playing hard.
100%.
And Aaron Rodgers, bro, this guy was doing some nice passes.
He was.
He's had some good.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe he might be back. Those perks might be hitting. Perk Rodgers. For this game, we're both gonna go with the Lions.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great matchup, honestly, but we gotta go with the Lions. It's a safe pick.
Yes, sir. For Monday Night Football, we got the 49ers versus the Colts. How about Phillip Rivers coming back, scoring a touchdown, and you know what? Almost beating the Seahawks.
Yep,
he was pretty
game.
close. But I will say he's still old. Like some of those throws are pretty bad, and he was moving the ball sometimes. But at the end of the day, you can't beat a good team like the Seahawks.
He thought he was still playing in the backyard with his kids.
He had a full squad at his house, but they weren't helping him out too much. And you know what? Just like the Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers are going to beat the Colts. They looked amazing last week. They scored a bunch of touchdowns. Kittle, Juwan Jennings. Ricky Pearsall's probably out for the season. He PCL tear, or not tear, but he had something with his knee. So I don't think he's going to play, but they still got Juwan Jennings. And honestly, this team's looking unstoppable right now. And that's with all these injuries. And against Phillip Rivers, I feel like they're going to play amazing. I got the Niners winning this game.
Yeah, the Niners, I feel like they've been one of the most surprising team early in the year. So many injuries, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner.
Yep.
I know there's more injuries that I can't think of them right now, but they've had so many injuries Brock Purdy, their quarterback situation, and they still have found a way to win. This team really wants to go to the Super Bowl. They know the Super Bowl's at home, and the NFL's kind of helping them out a little.
Yeah.
For this one, I think the Niners get one step closer to making it, home game Super Bowl, and they get the win. McCaffrey's been balling out.
Oh my
and
gosh,
honestly, it don't matter who's that receiver, as long as George Kittle's in there, because he's that guy. Brock Purdy had a nice game, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, taking care of that interception problem for this game. Yeah, come on. We both got the Niners.
For the next segment of the week, we got spreads of the week. For my spreads, I got the Ravens -3. The Raiders +14, and the Bengals -2.5.
All right, for my spreads, I have the Rams -1.5, the Cowboys -1.5, and the Broncos -3.
And now for the best segment of the week, we got parlays of the week. This is where you guys can make your money and cash out. For my parlay, I got the Eagles, Texans, and Lions.
All right, for my parlay, I have the Saints, the Vikings, and the Niners.
Hey, let's cash out.
Let's go.
Thank you guys for watching another week of JandJPickEm. We really appreciate all you guys' support. Make sure to like and subscribe to our video. We really appreciate everything you guys do for this channel. And without you guys, we wouldn't be here, honestly. And hey, week 16, December, this is where it matters. Your team, they have to make the playoffs by winning these games. So it's a pretty exciting week of football.
Yep. Make sure to one more thing. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, JandJPickEm. That's where we post any last minute changes to any of our picks due to any injuries or any other things like that. So make sure to follow us on there. This was Juan.
This was Josh.
And this was JandJPickEm.